Did Netflix actually just get Toph right before Season 2 of the Avatar The Last Airbender live-action adaptation got underway? Safe to say, with this new piece of promo footage that came out the other day, they might have just done it. I know this breakdown is a little late because I had a more important video to make that you guys should definitely go watch that I put out the other day, but this is by far one of the most important pieces of marketing that this show needed to do for Season 2, if not the most important one. For a lot of fans out there, they are looking to see if this character is going to show up where it is needed the most for this live-action adaptation. Toph is the character that brought a breath of fresh air to the original series, and to this day, for a lot of people, she is their favorite character in the group. So let's take a look. The first and most important thing to note is that this is the first time we are actually seeing her talk in footage. If I remember correctly, I believe that she did do the voiceover for the very first trailer Season 2 got many months ago, but this is the actual first time we are watching her speak on screen. Miya Cech, so far, does sound like Toph. I can hear a lot of the cadences in her voice that make her sound like her even when comparing to Michaela Jill Murphy, who voiced Toph in the cartoon. When she's frustrated, that sounds like Toph. When she's being sarcastic, that also sounds like Toph. Toph is a great character because she was so perfectly mixed into the cartoon through what her personality is like when you combine it with how cool she is in action when bending. That tomboy energy of hers and that sass translates so much into her toughness when fighting people, and it makes for some of the most entertaining moments that the cartoon had. I'm not sure if that will fully be the case here for the last 2 seasons of the live-action adaptation, but so far, I do see them making a great attempt at it with the footage we've gotten so far. After all, as showrunner Jabbar Riasani pointed out, they looked at over 6,000 young actresses. That's an insane number of people. Can you imagine what that process must be like? Miya was lucky enough to be that one person, and I trust that they have found the best of the best. When it comes to the written dialogue, most of these lines that you are hearing are from the cartoon. Everything from her calling Aang Twinkle Toes to even when Aang first has a conversation with her about why she needs to be his teacher, emphasizing that he needs to find someone who has neutral Jing. I think being able to keep that line in is important because it is defined by a personality trait that Aang needs to learn that maybe no other master can give to him besides her. Which, by the way, I do need clarification on this because it's been a long time since I watched Season 1, but in this version of The Last Airbender, did Bumi mention the neutral Jing part to him? I'm just wondering, because if that line was left out from the cartoon and they decided to add it back in for this season, that means that the writers are paying attention to what lines are the most important to keep. And just as a final point on the dialogue, the writers did confirm that there is going to be playful jokes that Toph is known for and that she will bust the balls of everyone in the group. And I think that is something that absolutely needed to be in the show, just because when you go back and watch the cartoon, her being able to give the rest of the group crap when it's needed actually highlights good character growth. Good character development is not always just about having a great personality to yourself. You also have to have somebody to develop your personality as well and give you good life lessons, or in the case of Toph, be a good earthbending master. When it comes to the actual scenes themselves, there's not much new here, if at all, that we haven't seen already, and I think most of this stuff has been shown. It doesn't matter if it's when she's training Aang, or when they get in the confrontation with Azula in the small abandoned town, or when they are going to the big dinner for the Earth King in Ba Sing Se. By now, I think everybody is able to piece together just enough from what episodes are being adapted from the cartoon and what isn't. The only new scene I noticed from this promo is this one, of the boulder fighting her outside of Earth Rumble 6. This is seemingly a brand new sequence that's not from the cartoon, because this did not happen, so I'm not exactly sure why he's attacking her out in the open, and if you are confused, I believe the man next to him is her father. I wonder if this is a change where they actually find out that she was an Earth Rumble 6 contestant, whereas in the cartoon, they didn't know that. That's just an assumption, by the way. I have no knowledge that that is the case here. Regardless of that point, it is at least good to see a little bit more from her perspective now. Just one more point to make that I think will interest a lot of people who love behind the scenes is that they did use a blind specialist to help her understand what it would actually be like to play a blind character. Because here's the thing. The other aspect of Toph that is so brilliant from the cartoon is that you can tell she has practiced how to move around the world using her earthbending abilities and her seismic sense to know what's in front of her and so on. But when it comes to live action, you have to make it look like that authentically. You can't just have an actor walk around not acting like they are blind. They even went as far to give her contact lenses that blocked her vision so that she could practice and learn that way. That's honestly a lot of really good dedication, and especially for a young actress, I think that has a lot of respect for someone like me, and I'm glad that they added in that little fun note to this promo. So that's really all there is to take away from the footage itself, and now it's time to talk about the marketing angle of it all. If you go into the comments of all the posts for this video, you'll see that an overwhelming number of people are liking what they're watching. For those of you who have been with the channel since I started covering the Netflix show, you know that I have been praising the changes that it has been making to improve upon some of the stuff from season 1 over into the next 2 seasons. I think we are starting to see that come forward in the footage and other areas like the writing. While I do have my minor nitpick issues with stuff like the color grading being too desaturated and the way the earthbending looks, I think we are starting to see improvements in areas where it is needed the most. I just think it's a little unfortunate that the marketing is not showing enough of that. We've had a couple of good promos so far, but the abundance of marketing for this season is clearly not all there in comparison to what they were doing with Season 1. If I had to make a prediction, I do think Season 2 will be much better than Season 1. Even industry insiders and scoopers think that that is the case. As you can see here on screen, these couple of tweets from Daniel RPK, who is one of the primary industry insiders, who says that he hears this season is better. And our good friend Caleb Williams, who reports on all Avatar news, agrees with him. Daniel RPK is hit or miss on a lot of things he reports, but I think you could easily say this is one of the times that he is hitting. We are, after all, very quickly approaching the release for Season 2, less than a couple of weeks away, so people have definitely seen it by now. Again, I just wish the marketing would show you that there's clearly an improvement here. This particular Toph promo should have come out weeks ago. Netflix isn't the best streaming service out there when it comes to marketing, so you can only get as much as you can with what you're given. At the end of the day, this was needed, and I'm glad it's starting to get people to be a little bit more positive about what we could get with the quality of this next season. And with that being said, I'm going to end the video there, ladies and gentlemen. That's all there is to gather from this promo. I'm not sure if we'll get any more bigger marketing than this for the next couple of weeks, but this did need to be covered. What do you all think of it? Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. If you did enjoy the video and you want to see more, be sure to give it a like, and if you are new to this channel, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And thank you all so much for stopping by Uncle Iroh's Tea Shop. I hope everyone here has a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all soon in the next video.